Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here today. We have our webinar with our Young BPW International Representative, Neelima Basnet. She is from BPW Nepal, and she will talk about the role of the BPW Young Representative, Young BPW International Representative, which is very important role because she is the one who really reinforce all the group of young BPWs around the world. But anyway, she will let you know the important duties that she have in this very special position. Thank you very much. Neelima, the floor is yours.
Namaste, I am Neelima Basnet, and today I'm here to present about the role of Young BPW International. So before starting that, I would like to go back to our history. Dr. Lena Madison Phillips, at the age of 38, started this organization as National Federation of Business and Professional Women's Club in USA. And in 1930, you can see the picture below, that it was the first Congress that took place in Geneva, where the member states from different countries were there. So you can see that how this organization started. But at that moment, there was no such position as Young BPW. So what kind of organization it is, for the young members need to understand that it is a volunteering organization, and it's a non-profit organization as well. And it does not discriminate on the basis of any backgrounds or any beliefs or it respects human rights. And also the procedure is very democratic and transparent and inclusive. That means all the young members and the non-young members who are the BPW members are a part of it. And the decision-making body that is accountable for the members are the international board members. And one of the main part of the international board is the fund is carefully managed and used to promote and achieve the aims of BPW International. So we need to understand what kind of organization we are in. And with this, I want to go back to the history of Young BPW. In 1930, when it started as International Federation, there was no such position as Young BPW. It was in 1963, one of the national president of the USA started this just as a program. And in 1985 was the exact time when Young BPW Fund was created to bring more young members to the Congress. And that's where the Young Career Women program was started. And in 1987, it was turned into a task force as a young career woman. And in 1991, it was, the task force changed into the Young Career Women Committee as ad hoc. And in 1999, you can see in Vancouver was the first time we had a young executive, standing committee who was a part of the executive board of International Executive. So you can see all the person who has been a part of the international board from 1999 to 2017. And one of the best part about this, the young members who became young chairperson is one from Thailand, we call her Nok, Chonchanak Viravan, and Frida was the person, young representatives who later on turned into the president of BPW International. So you can see young position is not just for young to come and then disappear. You can also be president in the future. So the pictures that you can see, it's from 1985 all the way to 2017. So the structure of BPW International, we need to understand a little bit, because being an international representative, you need to understand where you stand. So the highest governing body of BPW International is the General Assembly that is held during the BPW International Congress. So between two General Assembly, it is the International Board that governs the body. And the International Board members consist of members of International Executive. So International Executive is where the Young BPW representative stands. And other members of the International Board are international past presidents, affiliate federations. Affiliate federations, they have 2 appointed representatives. And from affiliates club, there are 1 representative per country, and also standing committee chairperson. So you can see the International Executive Board. This is of 2017 to 2020. You can see that we have international president, vice president, second vice president, UN, and executive secretary, finance officer, and young BPW. So one of the misconcepts that people have is young BPW is a separate club or a separate, thing. No, we are a part of international board. So this should be included in every country, in every federation, in every clubs. You need to have a young representative in your clubs and also in federation as well. So this is the executive board that you can see and how it can be implemented in the different part of the world. So people don't need to understand what young BPW is. So according to our constitution, with everyone who is under 35 years old is considered young BPW. They can be a member of any affiliates or they can be of individual affiliates. And the young BPW representative on the executive, her duties is to present the views of young BPW members. And she is the link between the executive and the young BPWs. And also she needs to encourage, young BPW activities, not just worldwide, but for the ones who in the clubs, they need to promote as well. So this is the concept of young BPW according to our constitution. And within the international board, we also have a Young BPW Standing Committee, which is chaired by Young BPW International Representative. And she has a committee. The committee needs to be formed within 2 months of the election, where the international representative is elected. And within 2 months, she needs to discuss with the young, the members from 5 regions to come up with a proposed outline of the activity that they want to continue for the next 3 years. The selection part of this standing committee is not exactly written in any constitution because it's only been 35 years and we are still working on how to make it very concrete. The thing is that most of the time when they have a regional conference, that is when they elect a young representative in a regional conference. But there are times they are not there, they're not elected. So what we do is the regional coordinator selects someone from her region that she can work with and someone who can work with the international representative. And that person is nominated and then the president approves it. And after approving it, then they are approved and then we form the entire team. So you can see that the standing committee who works with me are from Africa, Asia Pacific, Europe, Latin America, North America, and the Caribbean. And they are addressed as young regional representative. So we need to understand that it's, there is a whole lot of people who work as a team to help the young members all around the world. So every time you have anything to inform, any informations to get or any information to share to us, then you need to reach out to your regional coordinator, regional representatives, and regional representatives will reach out to me, and that's how this protocol works. So I tried to figure out what was exactly the action that was done in the past, and this is what I had to come up with because there was really few information that was available. So the action plan that I came up right after my election was some of the topics here, like United Nations Young BPW on BPW Board 2020, Equal Pay Day, Women Empowerment, International Trade Center, Young BPW projects, and BPW events. This is something for the the next young representative in the future. People can look up to what they can come up when they have to plan something for the action plan. So why United Nations is, we have a consultative status with United Nations, and we need to realize that they are UN representatives from BPW who are representatives of different UN agencies. So there are a lot of activities that takes place around the world. It's not only in New York, it's in Geneva, in Vienna, in Bangkok, all the UN offices, they have a lot of events. So the responsibility of international representative is to make sure that she's aware of all the events that's happening, and she needs to get the information from the UN Vice President UN. And also one of the things is that there are, so ways in which the young members, BPW members can get passes to enter those events. Sometimes they can also be a speaker. For that, we need to figure out, who can be a speaker and approach to a person. I remember in 2019, we had one young BPW member who came to CSW and she got a chance to get a pass. And then this year she was invited as a speaker, though due to Corona, we were not able to attend, but she was invited. So this can happen. So for that, we need to understand that we need to give opportunity to the women who have a voice. And talking about commission and status of women, 62 is one of the best thing about this BPW has 20 passes to give out to the 40,000 members that we have. And out of 20 passes, I was able to request our executive to get 5 passes. And not just 5, they were like 20 young members running around UN trying to learn about what's happening in the world. So this is something that international young representative needs to be aware that she needs to guide the young members about what BPW has to offer. And also some of the events that I attended was International Human Rights High-Level Political Forum, Youth Assembly, and the ministerial conference that takes place. And also I couldn't attend the General Assembly, but these are the events that I could attend because I knew about it. And then I reached out to our BPW UN representatives and I said, I want the pass, and that's how I got the pass. So also I was able to fight for other young members to get the passes. So this is how the representative needs to be aware about how the UN works and how BPW has a role in UN. So this, I think with this, we'll in future, hopefully we'll have more passes for the young members so that, we can bring awareness within BPW as well. So another topic that I was part of my action plan was Young BPW on BPW Board 2020. This is not something that I have started. This was something started in 2002 to bring more young members on the board, to work for the sustainability of BPW, to encourage the young members that they have opportunity within BPW. So one of the good news about this triennium is that we have 2 young members who are the president of a club, like from Hong Kong and Latvia, Riga. They were presidents, and it was amazing to see how they were running the clubs. So, not just that, BPW Italy, if you know that BPW Italy has the highest number of, members in BPW, more than 20,000. And for them, for all these years, they didn't have a young position in their national federation. And this last year, they had election and they elected one young representative in the executive. I think this is the best thing that happened to BPW, Young BPW, because this is just the beginning. And also BPW Nepal, I had to start with in Nepal. So I'm thankful to our President Ambika that she allowed one young BPW member to be on the executive board. And also in the different clubs, they're having young members now. And talking about BPW Germany, the thing is that they have around 500 young members, and they used to hardly had any position in the national board. And now they have 3 members in the national board, which is a great achievement in itself. And also BPW USA has a BPW member in the executive board of the federation. There are many more, clubs who have a young representative, but to have someone as a president, it is a great achievement to BPW. And I hope that in future, we don't need to end in 2020, but in future, the international representatives works towards bringing more young members on the board. We need to see, like, even a president of BPW International can be a young BPW someday soon. So with this, Equal Pay Day is something that BPW has been working for a really long time. And the responsibility of international representative is to make sure that members, young members, are aware about the events that takes place and encourages them to be a part of it. And also, whatever event is done, the international is aware about it. So, and women empowerment, there have been a lot of events that took place in this last 2 years, and it was whether it was related to business or profession or leadership or social responsibility, STEM education. I think this is the way in which you engage young members within BPW so that they always feel they are part of it, even if it's a small event or a big event. So no matter what, you are empowering them, at the same time, you are engaging them as well. And also International Trade Center. Why International Trade Center? The thing was that the first time when I found out that International Trade Center is a partner organization of BPW, and the fact that the plan that they had was to bring 1 million women entrepreneurs to market by 2020. So it was a responsibility of BPW to make sure that when we have a lot of entrepreneurs and the businesswomen in the market, we need to make sure that they are aware of the sustainability and factor, because uh, so many women are coming in the market with different businesses, the amount of pollution that can cause. So we need to encourage them to understand the sustainability factor as well. So that was the reason I wanted, because I wanted more members to learn about International Trade Center and to be a part of a lot of events, the BPW International Trade Center has to offer, because there were a lot of free training for new business women. And I think this is something that they could offer and we could, use from our partner organization. And another one was a Young BPW project. This is something that I was trying to figure it out, going through the history of Young BPW, how Young BPW was first started, just coming out with making, newsletter. And then later on, they started project as a, they were involved in a project done by the Federation of Club International, but there was hardly few project that was initiated by young members. So in last 3 years that I have seen, like a lot of young members, they have started, coming up with their own project. I think that is a good way, because what I've seen is most of the people who have started this projects are related to those business or professions. So it is easier for them to implement it. For, let's say, it's up to me and gender equality in leadership. It is a Young BPW Italy project. And they are the one who are actually are working in those areas where, they need to raise this issue. So in that way, it becomes very, uh, very good. The effects are very good. And also Back to School Tour is a Young BPW Nigeria, where they are going to the school and talking about how they could, engage the young members to, come up and speak up and know their rights. And so Visit Nepal for BPW, it is a Young BPW Italy project, which they uh, started just to help the young people in Nepal after the earthquake. And also Intergenerational Dialogue is one of the projects where me and Dr. Anne Hildy are involved to bring the conversation flowing within the BPW members of all generations. And also Mentorship Program of Hong Kong is one of the exceptional, program initiated, though it is from BPW Hong Kong, not Young BPW, but young members are involved as well. And this is mentorship is a three-tier mentorship where three generation come together in order to exchange the knowledge. So which is very good. And Be a Change Maker project is a project initiated by our representative of Latin America. So she's trying to make sure that every single person can be a change maker, and which is an amazing project that she's been doing for like last few years. And another one is Law in Action and Health Awareness Project is something that has started in Nepal, and by one lawyer and one nurse, which has turned out to be very amazing, because they started on their own. And one thing the young members need to realize is that these projects are voluntary based projects. They are not funded, and you will not be getting any funds if you do this project. It is something that you do to bring out awareness in your society, because BPW is advocacy. Advocacy is for advocacy. So, and with this, uh, the next one is BPW event. One of the responsibility of international representative is to make sure that members are engaged within BPW as well. And one of the most important day is to remember is the 26th of August. That's a BPW day, where we request everyone to wear something yellow and then post a picture with the hashtag Young BPW Day and Young BPW Pride. And they can also organize events to bring the members together. I think this is one of the day when most of the members come together. And another one is the annual BPW Leaders Summit that takes place in New York every year. There are around 100 members from BPW from around the world who come there. It is right before the CSW. So we have to make sure that, the one who has the passes for CSW are there as well, and the one who doesn't, because if you want to learn, you need to be there. So you need to encourage the young members to attend. And also BPW regional conferences. There are like 5 regional conferences that takes place during this 3 years of term. And also Young BPW regional conference or symposium. Europe has been doing symposium for the last 7-8 years, and Asia, they did it for the second time last year. And, a lot of other regions can do young symposium to bring the young members in their region together. And one of the ways to do it is to coordinate with the regional coordinator and the young regional representative, and to figure it out how and where to do it. And you need to reach out to the country who is doing it, and this whole management team needs to have team member of all these people. So this is very important because there has been a lot of BPW International Congress that took place in the past, and we haven't had the International Congress recently, and it would be wonderful to have a young regional Congress soon. So also and BPW International Congress, which takes place every 3 years, and that is where we need to invite or encourage young members to come and attend. And there is a lot of event that takes place related to young members, where the young representative needs to make sure that she's aware of it and she informs the young members, and also encourage the young members to participate in national meeting and club meeting. These are some of the events that you need to consider while taking the responsibility. And also, this is according to our procedure manual, this is the exact term that has been stated as a duty of a young BPW representative, which almost covers everything that I've stated with my presentation before. The first one is to represent the interest of young BPW members on the executive, and to chair the standing committee, to promote the Young BPW initiative, to have a regular communication with young members and use the social medias, and maintain the Young BPW International page on the international website, and to communicate regularly with president and vice president membership, and to work with young regional representatives and regional coordinators to identify young members, and to figure it out and find the strategies to engage the young members and how to retain them as well. And another one is to organize and publish Young BPW meeting, which is the Young BPW symposiums during during regional conference or between the regional conference as well. And another thing is other duties that when the president and executive they request an international board, we need to perform that, and also to organize the BPW event at Congress. So, and the last one is to promote the Friends program, which is part of BPW, which raises fund for the young BPW. So this is the overall duty that you need to keep in your mind while running for the position of Young BPW International. And one thing I realized is in the past, there were really few young members who wanted in the Congress because of the financial problems. So in 1985, this was started, Young BPW Congress Fund was started to assist business and professional women under the age of 35 to participate in International Congress. And ever since that, there has been a lot of members who have, attended to the Congress. And it is how it is done, and we need to understand is that during 6 months before the Congress, the call to Congress, is sent out to all the affiliates, all the presidents, and it's in the website as well. And the young member needs to be aware of that, and the international young representative to be aware, and she needs to tell everyone, through her email or social media, everything, and to inform the young members that this fund is available that you can try for. Not everyone will get it, but there are 5, members who will get from 5 regions, but they have to apply, and the application needs to be submitted like 6 months before the Congress. So the financial management teams is the one who manages the administration, and it is finally approved by the executive. So you need to make sure that you are an active member, and also you are an active, and also your club has paid the dues. And another thing is raffle. When it comes to Young People Congress Fund, the ways in which we raise fund is through raffles, whether it is in regional conference or in international congress. So the responsibility of Young International Representative is to make sure that she coordinates with the event organizer and the regional coordinators and to the executive and figure it out how to raise funds through raffle. And the fund raised during that event is then added to the Young BPW Congress Fund. And the most important part is about the nomination. So how do you nominate yourself for the position of Young BPW International Representative? So any, affiliates who wants to nominate someone, in this position, for this position, needs to submit an official form, which you can see in the website, and it is also, sent out to the presidents. So it is important that the members are aware of it, and they do apply for it. And the nominations, nominations for election of whether it is for president, vice president, UN membership, executive secretary, executive finance officer, or young BPW representative. It is not that just you run for one position of young BPW. You can run for any position, but if you want to, it has to be submitted by the federation or the affiliate club within the BPW federation. So the nomination documents requires a signed, signed form by the president, and also signed by the nominee. And also, it should, if you are not for part of the, if your country is not approving it, then if there is another country, another club who's approving, nominating you, then it should be countersigned by your president. And you also have to have a supporting statement that is of 200 words by the president of your country, and also a written statement of 500 words by the nominee, and also need to send a qualification and experience, and need to make sure that you just don't put what you do professionally, but your engagement within the BPW as well. And the nomination, one of the important part is the nominations are accepted are valid only if the candidates, they send the nomination form on time. That is, they don't, cross the due date. And another important part is they have paid their dues. I have seen, like, in future, like, there were members who wanted to run for this position, but that they realized that they were late, or their country has not paid their dues and they were not able to run for this position. So you need to make sure that you encourage your president to pay the dues on time. And for all this information, you can check out the website and under the section Call to Congress, or ask the president for the information. And criteria, the most important part is the criteria of being a young BPW candidate for the international representative is you have to be under 35 years old, and to be active in business and professional or profession, you need to be a part of a BPW club or federation, and also you need to be a member at least for 2 years. So, and you should be able to come at time, because this role has a lot to play, because it's not just social media that using, you have to travel a lot, and also give time to the young members, because there will be a lot of people reaching out to you for information. And also, one of the criteria is to the president needs to write a written statement stating why having you in the international board will be beneficial for the organization. And also you need to make sure that you understand English. It is not that you have to be really fluent, but you need to understand English, and because the communication is mostly by English. So, and also you have to have a computer skill. So these are the criteria. You need to figure it out if you want to run for this position. And with that, there are a few books that I would encourage the young members, whether it is in a local, national, or international, just all the members, they need to understand what BPW is all about. And for that, you need to read these two books, Biography of Dr. Lena Madison Phillips and A Bus to 42nd Street. And these two books will give you an insight on how BPW has evolved since 1919 till now. So besides that, also there are a website that you can go and see how it has been done, the activities of young BPW members, and Facebook pages where the latest information are put, and Twitter and YouTube for videos. So the international representative needs to make sure that all this for social media are taken care by her. And it is a huge responsibility as well. And another thing I would suggest with this is to all the members, whenever you do certain activities, to use the hashtag Young BPW in Action. So it becomes very easy for the international representative to figure it out what's exactly happening. And then that's how, all the data can be collected together. So this is something that I would recommend everyone to do it. And another one is what BPW has to offer. When I was elected in 2017, I was not that outspoken person, and I only had idea about my country or some countries that were in the news. But after being a part of BPW International and serving as a young international representative, I now can call myself a global citizen, because now I understand that what is the status of women around the world. And one of the things that the international representative to understand is that there will be a lot of times when you have to speak up. There will be not just within BPW, but outside BPW, inside whether it is in UN or in other events. That's why you need to be aware of the latest, data or information about the women or related topics. And that's when you meet all these amazing women of BPW and also outside BPW who are working so hard to change the status of women. So with this, what I would like to say is what I believe in is like life is not about how much you earn, learn, but how much you give and share knowledge for humanity. And being in the position of Young BPW International, you get a lot of opportunity to learn in different fields. And it is very important that this is implemented in future in BP, not just in BPW, but anywhere she goes, and to make sure that the young members, just don't come as a young representative, gain the knowledge and then disappear. You need to make sure that your knowledge has been transferred, and you work as a advisor to the new representatives. And also, I would request one more thing is it's not just the work of international, uh, how to, engage members around the world, but it is also the work of, the members in the local level, how they engage. We need to understand that this is a, movement that started in 1972 to bring, the women together to make this world a better, safe for women. So every single person has an important role to play, and every single BPW member need to understand how BPW works and how to make, BPW better. So with this, I would like to thank Dr. Ann Hilty and Yasmin for giving me this opportunity. And I hope the young members, they understand and they run for the board in future. And we want to see more young women on the board in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Neelima, for this great presentation on the role of the Young BPW representative. Neelima focused primarily on the international level, but certainly we can apply elements of that to all levels, from regional, national to local, when it comes to the Young BPW representative. We hope that this has been helpful for you. We hope that people, members of all ages, watch this video and take it to heart and maybe integrate some of these ideas into your own Young BPW program. We also are very happy to know that many people are interested in running for this position in the future, and we hope that this is helpful to you in knowing precisely what this role involves. So thank you for viewing. We trust that you're viewing our other videos on this channel, and we hope to see you in a webinar soon. Bye for now.